we have been going through for years. So I'm not being quiet, and I'm not being ashamed of anything like that. So I think that's where I'm definitely with our people with the Black Lives Matter campaign and everything, and I try to speak on it as much as possible with my friends and family and coworkers. Gun violence in Philadelphia. I really thought it was getting better, but it seems like it's not. It just seemed like I don't know if it more has been like the numbers have gone up. I haven't really been watching the news, to be honest with you. But it's sad that our black people were killing each other, and we can't find a better way to resolve our issues with one another. And you know, I don't know what organizations are doing to decrease that, but I would hope, you know, I think as maybe more programs, I think it's things that we can do to maybe change what's going on in the Philadelphia area. I'm fingers crossed, I guess, wishful thinking, but I really haven't been keeping up. I know I have had friends, family members that have been killed this year, unfortunately. So definitely, I think I need to probably get more informed about all the violence that's going on in the Philadelphia area.
Right, it's been really a sad time, especially our youth numbers have gone over 100.
Yeah.
And then you had a 7-year-old kid that was murdered 2 weeks ago in West Philly. So then you had a 6-year-old that was shot, I think almost 2 weeks ago as well. So it's a lot. It's a present time. Plus, you know, it's just like everything gets worse and worse. It's like we was doing good. I thought with the protests and all like that.
Yeah.
But once after the riots happened, it's like all this violence went up. You know, and it's just like crazy. People just losing their minds. They don't have the patience to talk to anybody about anything out because they might get a gun, shoot someone, and then you have people who deal with the aftermath of it and the damage from it. You know what I mean? Someone that has dreams and ambitions and goals gone now because of something that you couldn't be resolved.
Yeah.
You know, so then affects the whole family, community, the city, just a whole ripple effect. You know, so I think it's a lot to pray for, a lot to get better at because it's needed in our community, especially, and plus, a lot of our kids don't go outside. You know what I mean?
Right.
They scared to go outside because they feel like they might have a stray bullet. You know what I mean? Like so, it's like so true. You know what's going on. So we're gonna get back to what you're doing. Is exceptional about what you're doing to as your form of protest in terms of promoting literacy for our youth and also that inner confidence, that inner self-esteem, that self-worth, and self-value. So, can you tell us who is Tanisha Chambers?
That's a hard question. Well, it's not hard. I just don't like talking about myself, to be honest. I'm Tanisha Chambers. I am, when people meet me, they see sweet, funny, outgoing, but if people really got to know me, I'm quiet, I'm introverted. I love reading, I love traveling, I'm the homebody type. I'm a person that'll stay in and watch a movie. But then I do have my times where I like hanging out with my friends and laughing and joking. I'm really, I like having fun. I like smiling and laughing. I don't feel like I should sit a bit around and be sad. I'd rather laugh through the tough times, all good times, bad times. I like to laugh through it all, just to keep my peace of mind, because having my peace of mind means a lot to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what was your upbringing like?
My upbringing, I think it was a normal upbringing. I come from a Jamaican household, so at home, so I didn't really grow up on the normal American dishes, even though my mom did incorporate it. But I came from a loving household, very family oriented, very loving family, close knit. So we always. A lot of times if you see me out, it's most likely with a family member versus friends. I have friends, but most likely I just spend a lot of time with my family because we're just so close. So I had a normal upbringing, close to my brothers. I'm the oldest, and I made sure to keep an eye on all of my siblings growing up, and I still do to this day. So they are my everything. So I make sure that my siblings are good each and every day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I want to talk about what you're doing now with your book. what made you start writing, and what made you decide to become an author of children's books?
Well, I've always written, not necessarily books, but I've always written poetry. When my grandfather died, I wrote my first poem for him, and I dedicated it to him. So that really got me in my feelings, and connected with in that way. So I started writing from around like 6, 7 years old when my grandfather passed away. And then over the years, I just continued to write poetry, and especially for my loved ones that passed away. I wrote individual poems for them that, I can keep their memory alive for me and my family, but more so for me. And then in college, I was like, I'm going to write a book. And I decided it wasn't a children's book. I was going to write a book for young girls, just things I was going through. So it was a book about 4 girls and their different stories and different things like that. Still writing that book. It's not finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to figure out how to end it. However, I put that on hold, and then I took a break from writing for a couple of years. But when my sister was born, she did a lot of cool stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so amazing. She's so smart. She's so outgoing. Just the things, she's so creative. And she is the person that made me start writing children's books. So if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would still be thinking of ideas of what to write about. But my sister was my inspiration of writing my first children's book.
Okay, wonderful. So I see you have 3 books here. Can you tell us which this book is about?
Yeah. So this is Zori and the Monster. This is my first book that me and my sister wrote together. And we wrote this in a car, actually. And when we were driving, and I don't have any kids, so she was crying really loud, and I was driving, and I couldn't concentrate. So I'm like, I need to figure out a way to get her quiet. And so I'm like, let's make up a story. And I was like, monster, monster, are you behind that tree? Monster, monster, are you behind that car? And then for like weeks, that story kept repeating in my head. So I'm like, oh my God, I should write a book. So I wrote the book, and I changed it from outside to a little girl's bedroom.
Okay.
And then I went from there and finished the story. I had a couple rewrites of the book because I didn't want to make it too long but not too short. So this book is about a little girl searching for a monster in her room, and she discovers that monsters aren't really real. I won't give what she found, but but monsters weren't real. So with this book, I have a saying. I teach kids when I go to schools and stuff. I teach kids about fear because I was really fearful about sharing my story. I was fearful about. I'm fearful about doing this. I'm not a talker, so I get nervous and stuff like that. I get nervous in front of kids. So I talk about fear, and I talk about my own fears and how I overcame my fears to write this children's book. So when I go to schools, I talk about my little saying called "Fear less, dream more," because I want kids to be fearless in their dreams, and I don't want them to feel like I don't want parents also to put their fears onto their kids, because that's something my mom did to me. I went to school for accounting, but I always knew I liked writing. And she was like, no, accounting is the way to go. That's where you're going to get a job. Money's going to be there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do what my mom said because my mom knows best. However, it was my mom's fear that she put on me that she felt like accounting was what was going to bring me the biggest income, when in all actuality, I love writing. Regardless of the money I get from it, I enjoy doing it. I would get up and do it each and every day. So I talk about fear with the kids, and I want the kids to start whatever dreams they have early, because I feel like it's a great age for them to rewrite whatever they have to do with their business plans, their ideas, and it's a great chance for the parents to help them along. So that's kind of what I discussed with my first book. My second book is Zori's Day of Pranks. And me and Zori is silly. We tell jokes all day. Zori has I would say a slick mouth, but it's child friendly slick mouth. Like so it's like she's always telling some type of joke. She's always saying something funny or smart. So we decided to write a book about Zori and her brothers a day full of pranks because nowadays kids don't even get out the house as much. They're on their tablets, video games. So I wanted something interactive for the kids to think about pranks and things they can do at home and stuff like that. So that's what I talk about when I visit schools, and that's what this book is about. My last book, Beauty Defined by Me, I wrote this because me and Zori had a conversation, and me and Zori are, I think I'm a little lighter than Zori, and she had questions about our skin tone and being beautiful, and she didn't feel beautiful. So we had a long discussion about that, so we decided to write a book about who defines your beauty. Like, and for me, nobody can define if I'm pretty on the outside, only I can. You know, I've been teased when I was younger for being short and stuff like that. So I just make sure I say positive affirmations for myself. So I make Zori say positive affirmations. So we wrote a book just showing different skin tones, different heights, different how you dress, your style, different little things that little girls can relate to. And people may think this book is only for little girls, but why not read it to a little boy that he can know how to treat a little girl?
True.
You know what I mean? So this is what this book is about. I even added poetry. I never added poetry in any of my books. So I've added poetry and I've added activities in this book. So it's really a great book. And I'm not just saying it because I wrote it, but it's really good. Right.
I think as you more you write books, you find out more gifts about yourself. You reveal more stuff that maybe that came out before that you never thought you had.
Right.
And those books, I think, will be needed in the fall because of the virtual programming, especially beginning the monster part.
Yeah.
I think that beginning of the year, a lot of the kids are nervous and have anxiety and doing virtual from home and stuff like that. So, you know, and also that be redefine me. That's praise. I think that'd be a good one too. Just for laughs and just get them to laugh a little bit.
Right.
And the redefine me. That's good for anyone, boys and girls, and for adults too. You know what I mean? You can tell their daughters. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So because like you said, like there's a lot going on right now. Social media is telling them what is beautiful, what's not beautiful. You know what I mean? Or what is this, that's not inferred. So I think your books are going to be vital in the fall in terms of talking to classrooms, talking to school students, and you know getting more people about defining the beauty because basically you're isolated, so you have time to work on yourself and work on your affirmations and your growth and your development. So I have an school program too. So not me, but my job I work at. So they have an elementary school program. So hopefully once we get planned out and settled and things like that in terms of what it would look like, I would love to do virtual stories with our kids.
Oh, yeah,
because we had planned to do it earlier this year, but COVID, COVID happened, you know. So you know, and then it's like the process of now you doing it virtual is not going to be as much as it was in person. You had to read the book, we had to screen the book, make sure it's okay for our kids because our kids are very diverse. So it's like, so now virtual, I think like, okay, now I think virtual is probably more easier. It's not really about checking, it's about, okay, I think you do it on Zoom or do a hangout, show activities with the kids. I think that the activity department the kids would love that because, especially at the beginning of the school year. Yeah. Especially if I figure out who I am, what's going on, because I think that's very highly important as we are living in this time of uncertainty and unsureness of what's going to happen. And a lot of little kids need those friends. They need to spend time with their friends and interact because it's hard when you're a little kid, 3rd through 5th grade, and you're home all day. Now your friends are outside. You know what I mean? It's hard for them to bond and work on themselves and grow yeah, so that's why I think those books are very, very important. So where? Go.
No, and even with my books, like my first 2 books are more so for grades like kindergarten to 2nd grade. But I'm finding ways, especially with my book that's for like kindergarten pre-K. This book is more so for kindergarten pre-K. However, I've just recently found I'm working on like a kind of a lesson plan for the older grades that I can do with them, that we can discuss fear, because I don't think we talk about those things in school. So I recently just came up with like a fear box and a dream box. So me and Zori worked on our dream box the other day, which we got a wooden box. We started painting it and everything, and the next step is us writing all her dreams in there, and then we'll put it away for her to go back a couple years from now just to see, you know, did she accomplish any of her dreams. And then the fear box, same thing, you paint it and then you bury it. You bury your fears. So like I'm finding ways to get my message out to the right grade age level.
Right,
those
are things I need. That's kind of like form of like that self-care, that self-love. You know what I mean? Like they need like put in that box, you look at it and you answer it as you get older, as you that age, okay, I'm living, because a lot of times we don't focus on what we accomplished. We always focus on what we fear. We don't take the time, okay, I did this at third, okay. Put in that box, and sometimes that gives us a motivation to keep going, you know, and bury that fear box, you know what I mean? Because that's something we can talk about, because they did this activity a couple days ago called Jar of Victory. We actually put that victory in a jar. Like, yeah, so kind of like what Jar of Victory made me be like, I woke up this morning, I made my bed, you know what I'm saying? Little things like that. It means we don't like, but it means a lot, you know. Right. So, but again, so where people can find you on the platforms to get those books?
So all of my books are available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. However, you can also go to my website, TanishaChambers.com. My first 2 books are available on there. I'm working on getting my 3rd book on there soon. I'm just trying to finish up my this is also going to be in hard copy. It's going to be my first ever hard copy in this. So I'm just trying to finish up some stuff with that before it's on my website. But I have my website, or people can reach out to me through Instagram, Zori Ventures Books, on IG. And if you're in the Philadelphia area, I'm always willing to meet up and drop off a book or something like that. So, yeah.
So what is next for you in terms of, you got the first book out, what's next for you? Are you doing any events coming up people can know about, to see you on there, so that it be a personal book?
I'm looking into events. I haven't, just because of the whole COVID thing, it's not a bunch of events out there right now. And I'm still proceeding with caution, just because we really don't know what's going on. But I'm supposed to. I haven't signed up yet, but it is an event, and I'll have that on I'll have that on my Instagram sometime soon. I'm signing up for a Black Authors book event. So I have to get more information about that. I just have to see what works best with my schedule.
Right. Okay. That sounds good. So you can go to TanishaChambers.com and find information to get those books, because those books will be essential for you and your child in the fall. Tanisha, thank you so much for being part of my guest on my show. Thank you for coming. You know, I'm showing you the free books because all those those books are needed for our kids this summer. So,
yes.
The fall. For the fall, yeah. So, going forward, because reading is fundamental to me, and I feel like our kids need to read books that look like them.
Yes,
and they could relate to them. You know, okay, to have something that they don't read, like they don't talk about, and especially as we are going to virtual in the fall, they need time to read these books and understand what beauty is, what the monster is, and find out, work on who they are, the affirmation, the dream boxes, the fear box, because those activities can be done. That can be done at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it can be.
Right, and so open that iceberg, which is very dream box, you know, and then they can put it all in trash, and then the dreams can be where you want comments, so that's 3 months while you're home.
Right.
Where you want, what your dreams are, then we look at it around Thanksgiving, okay, I did B, C, D, okay, so, yeah, so, again, thank you so much for being part of the show. You were part of Artist Cafe before as well, so.
Yes, and that was great.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and hopefully we can see you down the road in terms of events you're doing, because your books are very valuable and needed to our community, especially at times like that. So hopefully, as the world opens up, we can have more opportunities for you to come and share your books with different daycares and different places virtually, you know, so
Right.
for my kids. So we do have another guest. One more time, her name is Amber Jackson. She's on the way here. I don't know if she's here yet, but we'll be there today. She's on the way. But we're going to take another admission break. Hope she can get here safely. Again, Tanisha, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back on when Amber comes on. All right, hope to see y'all soon. All right.